Hi guys, it's lizzisimss here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing okay, staying safe and taking care of your mental well-being. So today I have another speed build video for you. This is my second build as part of the Suburbia Collab hosted by SUBURBAN, who is my dear friend over on Instagram. I will of course link or mention all the other participants in this collab in the description of this video, so definitely go check them out. They will do amazing builds, I am sure of it. So this is my second build. I will link the first build I did as part of this collab in the card above if you're interested in watching it. I really like how that one turned out. Of course I like how this one turned out as well, but I think the first one is my favorite. But this is a tiny home. It's actually like just on the brink of a tiny home residential requirement. It's 100 out of 100 tiles. I probably could have cheated it a little bit because the platform around the house actually contributes to that tile count. So the actual house itself is a little bit smaller than 100 tiles, but yeah, it's still quite big for a tiny home. So it is, yes, the tier 3 tiny home if you're bothered at all about those tier requirements. But here we are just working on the floor plan. It's very simple, quite squished in, I would say. There's not a bunch of space, but I think everything works. It's just a little bit cramped, but there is one bedroom. It fits a double bed, and the bathroom is quite a decent size as well. And there's a laundry room, a kitchen obviously, which is also quite decent, I think. A dining space, and the living room, which I would say the living room is the room I had the most issues with because it was very cramped. It's not ideal at all. You'll see what I mean when we get to it, but I'm not the most pleased with how it turned out, but I couldn't figure out a way to make it any better, so that is what we came up with. But here I'm just working on placing the windows and just flushing out the outside of the house. I did want to use these, like, it looks like industrial beams of some sort, which I thought looked quite like funky outside the house, but I ended up getting rid of it because I just didn't think it really suited the build. Unfortunately, I think I might try and use them again. I really like the look. If I could maybe like switch things around and do a proper industrial home instead of what is supposed to be like a suburban house, and it's surrounded by all these other like white suburban houses that I've done in the past. So I just didn't think that these kind of industrial bars at the front really fit, but I did like them. And here I started to work on the landscaping, but I got rid of it all because it just didn't suit the build. I wanted it to be a lot more like structured, a bit neater. I didn't want to do like overgrown landscaping like I usually do, but that's what I started off doing, and then I wasn't feeling it. It just didn't suit the build at all. So I got rid of that and tried to do something a little bit different. But here we are just trying to like fix the backyard. It is quite a decent sized backyard actually. It also has a pool, so that's quite a luxurious item. But I had the space for it because it's quite a big lot for a tiny home, so definitely had the space to add something like that to the back of the home. But yeah, here you can see I'm struggling a little bit with the landscaping. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted it to look just a little bit more like manicured, I suppose, a bit neat, very structured. I think that would just suits the house look, but nothing was working. But I did figure it out in the end, thankfully. But landscaping is not my favorite thing to do anyways, but I'm usually building more like cottages or bigger family homes that I can kind of go ham on the landscaping with. So yeah, I did struggle with this a little bit, but here you can see I got rid of those beams and decided just to add lots of ivy from the debug menu around the house instead. I just think it looks really nice and pretty. And the build is actually pack restricted, so it is built in Newcrest, and what was allowed in this world was base game, Discover University, Seasons, Cats and Dogs, Get to Work, Parenthood, Tiny Living, Laundry Day, the Country Kitchen Kit, and the Dream Home Decorator, which I actually didn't use at all in this build because I made it before it came out, unfortunately, but I would have loved to use it, especially for the living room. I feel like I could have created something a little bit better than what I actually did, but it's fine. If you do have that pack, you can change anything up. If you do decide to use this home in your game, I won't be offended. Just change anything you want, honestly. But yes, I decided to move into the interior before finishing off the exterior, which I tend to do anyway, because once I kind of got the base down, I like to move straight on to what I enjoy. But you do go straight into the kitchen once you enter the home, and honestly, for a tiny home, it's a really decent sized kitchen. I really like it. I think it looks very chic. I used like a very monotone color scheme, black and white and some creams, for I think the majority of the house. And yes, this kitchen is very that. I used these base game cabinets in, looks to me like a creamy beige is it mauve? I don't know. Anyway, you can see it, that kind of swatch. And I just clutter it up, not too much because it is more of a modern kitchen. I didn't want to go too crazy on the clutter, just wanted to keep it simple. But yeah, there's lots of counter space, there's a full-size sink, there's a stove, there's a fridge, and managed to put a lot of cabinets as well, and obviously left a counter spare so the Sims can cook. But yeah, very decent sized kitchen. I was really happy with how it turned out. And here is the very, very small living room. No, it's the dining room. So I used this tiny living like bar table with the anniversary update stools from the CC creators. I think they go really, really well together, and I wanted to put some curtains there, but I decided to leave it open to allow a lot of light in, because the curtains kept clipping with each other and it like blocked out all of the light, and I just didn't like it, so left it open. So it's kind of like a sunroom, but again, very simply decorated. But I do like how it turned out. There are just 2 bar stools, that's all I could fit into the room, but there is only a double bed in this home anyway, so I don't imagine that there would be a lot of space for guests, but for 2 Sims that might live here, there's plenty of room. And here is the living room, and I'm laughing because it's so small. It's so small and narrow. I tried to make it work as best I could. Again, it's definitely not ideal. I did put one chair. It's so sad when I look at it back. But there's one chair, an ottoman, and a footstool, which you can sit on. It's a poof kind of thing. And I did manage to fit a TV, which is from Tiny Living. Thank God for Tiny Living. There's a guitar, a bookcase, and I actually added these mirrors to the back of the TV because I just wanted the reflection to make it look like the room is a little bit bigger. But for me, the Sims could still sit down when playtesting. If they can't, I do apologize. I honestly don't know how you would move things around to make them fit better, but that's just how I had to do it. So I'm sorry if it's a bit too small, but for a tiny home, I guess it would be a challenge. But here is the bathroom, which is a very decent size. There is just a shower, which is from Discover University, I believe, and it's in its kind of like own separate space. I did want to use a platform to make it sunk in a little bit, but I believe that if it's an upstairs room, you can't do that because it would affect what's downstairs. I don't know, but I didn't sink it in. It's just flat. Hopefully there's very good drainage, so otherwise the water would be spilling out into the main bathroom area. But I did want to put the toilet over here to have a counter space, but I don't think the sim would have been able to use it if the toilet was on the other side, so I got rid of the counter and just had the Parenthood sink and the toilet next to each other. But here is the main bedroom, the only bedroom. Again, it's a very black, white and beige color scheme. There's just a double bed, which I think is from Seasons, I think. And there's an ottoman, some side tables with some clutter on them, this base game picture, which I really like. I used it in the other build as well, and I think it's really pretty. There's this Parenthood dresser, which I really like because it's got lots of clutter items kind of inside as drawers, and I think that's just such a nice feature. And I clutter it up to hell. I put a mirror and this cats and dogs kind of flower arrangement, I think that's what it's called. But here we just move on to the outside. I just put a round table with this umbrella detail just for some shade. There's some plant boxes. I finished off the landscaping, and that is pretty much it for my final build of this Suburbia collab. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also hope you guys go give some love to the other content creators. They did a really amazing job. And if you did like this video, please do like, comment and subscribe. Leave any build suggestions in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!